Forgiveness is a controversial topic, ranging from the Christian belief of forgiveness of all injustices and love for all to a more cynical approach that allows zero room for transgression. Is there any real benefit to forgiveness? Does reformation works? Does revenge satisfy? These are all things we'll tackle in today's video, but real quick, please consider subscribing to the channel and the socials if you enjoy. With that said, let's get into it. The first stop today will be defining simple transgressions from life-altering things. As most people agree, small transgressions are able to roll off your back. Things like bumping into somebody, stepping on their shoe, talking behind their back, if it's not too bad, etc. These are things that do not cause grievous wounds to pride or well-being. At worst, they'll ruin your day, and at best, they disappear at the end of your interaction. Most people would say that giving real reactions to this is a sign of low emotional IQ, or just general issues with temper. I'd say that the large majority of people will let these interactions slide right off their back. Now, medium transgressions are things like insults, disrespect, theft, most day-to-day things in first world countries. This is where we see the first divergence between populations, whether these things should be forgiven or if there should be a real reaction. Before I continue, I should say that the urge for revenge on paper is good. It indicates it indicates an urge to right wrongs, to solve perceived injustices, and it also shows that you have some sort of right and wrong in your mind. Most people would say that this is a good thing. However, it is often lost in translation whenever it comes to actions. Most people react because their pride is under attack, which is inherently which is inherently selfish and it is something that should not be protected. Most people think that they are above those around them, whether they realize it or not, and most media, including rap, country, and movies and TV shows, teach that they won't let any disrespect slide. If anybody plays with them, or steps on their land, or disrespects them, they will retaliate, oftentimes with force. This is a direct indication of their mindset, that even the idea of an inferior person disrespecting them is worthy of force. It is tied only to your pride, and real injustice in the world is forgotten. If it were tied to real justice, your focus would be far beyond yourself. This world has no shortage of evil to fight, even in your day-to-day life, and it should all take priority over your own pride or ego. To be clear, I'm not saying that you should have low self-esteem or low self-worth. You are a valuable person, and you should think such. But a person who is comfortable with themselves takes no pleasure in tearing other people down, and they often take no offense from people insulting them. Insults and disrespect are a clear showing of insecurity. I know it's corny, but in grade school we are often taught that bullies have an underlying insecurity or a poor home life causing them to act the way that they do. This is oftentimes true, either that they are, insecure, or they are just cruel and takes pleasure in tormenting other people, which is infinitely worse. If this is the case, why should we care if somebody talks bad about us? Why care if you are truly comfortable with yourself? And if you are struggling with self-esteem, removing yourself from those people both physically and mentally is the first step to growth. And I know that is easier said than done, but do not feed your mind with the insecurity of others. And also don't force yourself to be around the negativity. You have no duty to stick around where you are not valued if all they do is treat you like you are worthless. But also realize that those words are worthless and meaningless. Once you grow at peace with yourself, that is, when you stop caring about the opinions of others, that is whenever you know that you have reached, I don't want to say nirvana, but you have reached some sort of higher understanding. You stop caring about what people think about you. But what if somebody you love and trusted betrayed you? Or they robbed you monetarily, physical goods were taken away forcefully? I think that in both cases you have justifiable anger. It goes beyond an attack on your pride and becomes an attack on your trust or physical/financial harm. What should you do about it? Say somebody you love sneaks you and they take the person that you love or the job that you are going for. Well, we'll go over a few different ideas. Stoics would say raging out or spending nights sleepless because you were, wronged, that causes you to be hurt twice. There are two categories of things that are out of your control and things that are in your control. You cannot control your friend's betrayal, nor you can control your job being taken. But you can control your reaction to these things. By letting it go and continuing on, you are retaking control and cutting off oxygen to the fire. Now, Christians would say by forgiving their trespasses, you are both honoring God and moving on from the pain inflicted upon you. You are taking the loving road, and with genuine love for everyone, it removes the desire to see revenge taken upon those who hurt you. And it also gives a peaceful mindset that you have done all you can do to change them by being a loving person and showing them care and understanding even when they do not deserve it. You are acting like Christ, so to speak. And with any luck, or, some Holy Spirit intervention, you can actually change them for the better. Epicurism and Buddhists would both say that in order to achieve an ideal state of peace, and in the former's case a state of tranquility or constant happiness, you must let go of negative or unstable emotions as a whole, because that is which revenge is seated. Bushido would say that it is the right thing to do to take revenge when you are wrong, as it allows for the restoration of your pride and honor, both to your name and your bloodline at large. There are dozens of different schools of thought, most revolving around either doing what you can to take control back by reacting or by not reacting. However, for most things, I would largely say day-to-day life is generally not that serious. Let it go. There is plenty of love and enjoyment out there that you can find, but you will not be able to find it if you are blinded by something negative like this. But what about something that is that serious? Large transgressions, something that is largely deemed unforgivable, like something murdering, or I should say, like somebody murdering somebody close to you. The large death of innocence on a global scale. SA, something that is traumatic that happened at the hands of another. Well, to be honest with you, I think it comes down to two things: the capacity of the offender to recommit and the victim's feelings. I'm not going to make any claims past that, as I do not think it is my place to tell anybody suffering with something like that how to feel. But I will say that the anger and rage felt by the afflicted party or victim is justified and justice should be served. But that leaves a question. Can people really change? Can even the worst person make a difference for the better? Like I said previous, there are many schools of thought, and the severity of the crime is obviously a factor. Someone who spoke ill of another on the internet is a completely different conversation than somebody who killed an innocent person. Some statistics show that most of the people who go to prison or some sort of forced some sort of forced conversion or forced reconstruction. Most people who are forced into some sort of prison system, according to the CJJ, not the CJJ, the CCJ, the Council of Criminal Justice, rearrest rates remain stubbornly high. The cumulative 5-year rearrest rate of people exiting prison in 2012 at 71% was 6% points lower than the people who were released in 2005, and that was 77%. The rate of rearrest for violent offenses were virtually unchanged, while rearrest for property offenses declined by 3 percentage points, rearrest for drug violations declined by 6 points, and rearrest for public order offenses declined by 4 points. Now, this leads me to believe, for most people, forced reformation does not work. It is a question of genuine desire to change, not a long stint in a prison or social prison system, as in canceling somebody off the internet. The corruption of the justice system is a completely different conversation, but the point remains. Only those who genuinely want to change can, and even then there is a huge debate on if they should even be accepted. The goal of these philosophy videos is to get the thoughts stirring in your mind and hopefully open you up to other ideas. And even if you don't agree with those ideas, it is useful to hear them. My final claims on the video is that for a small and medium transgression, releasing the anger and allowing yourself to move on is the most humble, most loving approach. Bad things happen out of your control, and how you react is your domain. And I get that it is it's easier said than done, and it is something that cannot be achieved overnight. And for large and serious transgressions, the truth of the matter is that none of us know how we will react until it happens to us. It is a case-by-case type of thing, and a decision should only be made by those involved, those who intimately know the details of the situation and love the victim. And those are the only ones that should be making calls, and I'm just going to leave that there. Finally, I love you. Try not to torment yourself. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and most importantly, be a hero.